This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Back the other way.
The Warriors are the champions of history in the making.
Lady Red Devils of
Georgia Public Broadcasting presents the 2009 Georgia High School Association's State Basketball Championships. Funding for this program is provided in part by Georgia's Electric Membership Corporations, the Georgia Student Finance Commission, Regions Bank, the Georgia Lottery, by viewers like you, and the Georgia High School Association. We wish to thank the Georgia Dodge dealers, State Farm, and Naturally Fresh for their support of GHSA athletic activities.
Live from the Arena Equinet Center, it's the GHSA Boys 4A State Championship basketball game on Georgia Public Broadcasting. Today's championship matchup features the Tigers of Tucker coming in today's ball game with a 24-8 record overall. They will meet Georgia's number one team in the 4A classification, the Wolverines of Miller Grove, who are 26-3 on the campaign. And we welcome you to courtside here at the Arena. Charles Ward alongside Herb White. Eric Hunter joins us momentarily. Herb, we talk about this 4A title championship ball game this afternoon. The real number for both of these teams that they're concerned with is the number 3.
Yeah, this is the third time they've played this year, Charles. Miller Grove has won the first two, but you can kind of throw that out the window, as you know, in any championship game. And Marist had beaten these Tucker Tigers twice this year also and lost to them in the region championship. So I imagine Coach Hartree is going to make the adjustments, and I look for this one to go down to the wire. And if it does, watch for Tucker, a great free throw shooting team.
Tucker kind of under the radar in terms of making it to the championship ball game, but getting most of their offensive punch from Manny Atkins, who's outstanding as a player.
Manny Atkins there is a senior forward. He's a do-it-all double-double guy. He gets 24 points, 10 rebounds a game going to Virginia Tech, and he got 28 in the semifinals to propel Tucker into the finals.
Starting lineup for the Tigers of Tucker. Latoya at the guard did not start in the semifinals, but starting tonight, Kingsbury at the other, Dawson, Atkins, and Brown comprising that front court for the Tigers of Tucker. The challenge for the Tigers of Tucker, they get the number one team in the state in the Wolverines of Miller Grove.
Miller Grove, a great basketball team, and they're going to get it up and down the floor, and one guy that can get it up and down the floor and get it in the basket is Mufan Udofia, Georgia Tech signee. He can put in a lot of points. He averages 20 points a game, and he can dish it out as well, averaging 5.5 assists a game. He poured in 32 in the semifinal to get his team to the championship, Charles.
Wolverines of Miller Grove, starting lineup for Miller Grove. Frank and Udofia at the guards, Parker, Caldwell, and Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill, such a very athletic player at that forward spot for the Wolverines, really gets it done on the inside for Miller Grove. So good ball game on tap scheduled in this 4A classification setup for this contest. We'll get the starting lineups inside the arena from public address announcer David Witherell.
Now let's meet the starting lineups first for the Tucker Tigers.
after 12
At
years.
guard, a 5'8" senior number 1, Carrick Matoye. At forward, a 6'3" junior number 11, Chris Kingsbury. At forward, a 6'6" senior number 23, Manny Atkins. At center, a 6'5" junior number 35, Brendan Dawson. And at forward, a 6'3" junior number 51, Quentin Brown. The head coach of Tucker is James Hartree. Now let's meet the starters for the Miller Grove Wolverines. At guard, a 6' senior number 4, Malcolm Prey. At guard, a 6'2" senior number 21, Mufan Udofia. At forward, a 6'5" senior number 24, Stephen Hill. At center, a 6'8" freshman number 32, Tony
Positions he play in football? Tight end?
And at forward, a 6'4" senior number 34, Joe Caldwell. The head coach for Miller Grove is Eddie Johnson.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Third member of our broadcast team for this 4A championship is Eric Hunter. He's standing by at courtside. Good afternoon, Eric.
Well, Charles, you two touched on this already. Will the third time be a charm today for Miller Grove, or will Friday the 13th bring good fortune for Tucker? Now, last time these two teams met, Udofia led the way for Miller Grove with 18 points. On the other side for Tucker, Atkins, their leading scorer. Watched them warm up before the game, look cool as a cucumber. I think we're all ready to go, Charles.
Thank you, Eric, and we are indeed ready to go. Should be a fascinating basketball game to watch. Both teams really try to race it up and down the floor. Hang on to your seats. This one will move pretty quickly. Wolverines out of Region 6B, 4A, ranked number 1 in the state. Tigers out of that same region, ranked number 2, coming into this championship ball game.
Tigers have really righted the ship, Charles. They lost 5 games in a row at one point this year, but they're playing well when it counts.
Dawson and Hill will jump it. They give the basketball over to the Wolverines.
Some kind of a violation. I don't know what he called. Might have got it on the way up.
Tigers have it first offensively. Art Williams, Mark Couch, and Jeff McNichol, the officials for this 4A championship contest, as Manny Atkins handles behind the arc.
Miller Grove opens man-to-man.
Atkins, right side, runner from 10, missed it on the bank. Tony Parker, a sophomore, with the rebound for the Wolverines. Malcolm Frank handles up top. Wolverines winners over the Musketeers of Richmond Academy in the semifinals, as the jumper is left on the front of the cylinder by Caldwell. Matoye up to Atkins behind the arc for 3. The rimmer's off the mark, but there's a strong rebound and put back by Brown, and he's off the mark. Finally, Parker clears for the Wolverines, but a whistle. Wolverines will keep the basketball. Scoreless, just underway in this 4A championship contest. So glad that you could join us on Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Tucker Tigers also open man-to-man, Charles.
Down at the block, they go to Parker. Parker double team. Atkins got the block for the Tigers. Good collapsing defense by Tucker on the inside. Right corner, Dawson hard to the glass, draws the foul.
A couple of evenly matched teams size-wise, Charles. Nobody's got a really 6'9" or 6'10" stud inside. Both teams, the big guys are around 6'5", 6'6", so look for a pretty even matchup on the boards.
Brandon Dawson on the season, 12 points per ball game, 11 boards and 2 rebounds. 77% free throw shooter, but he misses on the first.
Yeah, the whole Tucker team, Charles, excellent free throw shooting. All their starters, 70, 75, 80%, just about everybody on the team, and Atkins shoots 88% from the line.
Dawson converts on the second. So Tucker with a 1-0 lead. At the block, Parker with the right-handed short jump hook shot. He missed. Fights for the rebound. Shot rejected. Hill tried to get it airborne, but they swatted it away. He gets another effort at it. And a whistle inside. Foul called on Brandon Dawson, the junior for Tucker.
There you see the action underneath the basket, and good offensive rebounding already by Miller Grove, and drew the foul.
Caldwell to shoot 2, converts on the first. Just under 5 points per outing for Caldwell and just under 4 rebounds per contest.
Wonder if he can jump like his namesake. A lot of folks may remember jumping Joe Caldwell from the Atlanta Hawks back in the late 60s, early 70s.
Matoye across the timeline. They're tied at 1 apiece. Still, good anticipation by Stephen Hill. Still, Hill to the glass, and he's fouled. Quentin Brown trying to catch up with that play for Tucker, but good anticipation by Hill for the Wolverines to get the steal and take it down the floor.
A nice job. A little bit of a bump. Stephen Hill hardly notices that when he's a football player. Charles headed to Georgia Tech along with his teammate Mifan Adofia.
7.3 points per ball game for Hill.
He's got some nice hops. Threw down a couple of dunks at the end of the ball game the other night. So he's a guy that can go up and get the football and take it up in the air with the round ball as well.
Mooch Lual into the lineup for the Tigers of Tucker. Rattles a second, Hill does, and it comes out of there. Atkins working left side. Matoye down. Kingsbury handles up top. Now Dawson. Dawson on the move in the paint with the left-handed shot, left it short. Frank clears for Miller Grove. Pass to Parker, who was trailing. Atkins challenges on the inside.
Well, Parker went down hard, but it's a clean play. We'll see it on the replay right here. He hit him high. Nothing wrong with that. He just lost his balance, came down. Big, strong kid. He jumped right back up.
Parker, only a freshman, averaging 10 points per ball game. Missed badly on the first. .539 remaining in this first quarter. Parker, no doubt championship jitters at the line there. Missed them both.
Got to be for a freshman a little bit.
Atkins. Toye, left side. In the paint. Crip shot off the mark. Udofia handles left side in traffic. Bumped hard by Lual. Inbound play, they try the alley-oop inside the Hill. He could not handle it. Parker had a hand on it. And now it's loose on the floor. Atkins dives for it. Hill clears it for the Wolverines, but he traveled with the basketball.
And a moment ago, you saw a little bit of the hops that we were talking about with Hill. They threw that thing up around 11 feet, 11 and a half. He went up, couldn't get it to go down with the slam, but he was up there.
5:09 remaining first quarter. We'll step aside for a quick timeout. We're back at the Arena Equinet Center. Let's go courtside to Eric Hunter. Eric.
I'm joined by Dr. Carol Thetford, principal of Miller Grove High School. Now you've got an awesome basketball team at your school. Tell us more about Miller Grove.
Well, we started this program 4 years ago, and we started with a young team, and we're just so excited that they have gone along and they have produced, and we've gotten to this point. And I think that because they're student athletes, I'm just so assured that we will make it to the finals and we will win that state championship.
Well, good luck the rest of the way. Thank you very much. Charles?
Thank you, Eric. And to Principal Thetford. Miller Grove, certainly an impressive story, Herb. Started that program, the school, in 2004. Here they are already in this decade with their first championship appearance.
Yeah, you're right, Charles. And a tip of the hat to Eddie Johnson, the coach, just came on board right at the beginning of the season and came from the B team, I believe, or the junior varsity, took over the squad, and man, what a job he's done getting them to the finals.
B team. Well, you dated yourself on that, didn't you? That's what we used to call it. Back on the floor with the A-teams.
Well, I dated myself talking about Joe Caldwell.
Cat was already out the bag. Atkins, right side with the drive. Drew the foul inside the paint. Malcolm Frank trying to catch up with Atkins on the play, commits the foul.
And speaking of Joe Caldwell, he's really shadowing Manny Atkins in this ball game.
Latoyer way out front. Kingsbury fires a three-pointer. Missed it backside, but Atkins there for the rebound. Fighting inside the paint. And he's guilty of the travel violation. He's trying to square up Tony Parker at the block. Took too many steps. Kingsbury awaits Frank at the midcourt stripe. Udofia, right side penetration all the way through, and he got the lay-in for the Wolverines. His first two of the night. Had 32 in the semifinal ball game a couple of nights ago. Atkins, right block. Good defensive work by Caldwell. Jumper by Lual. Basketball out of bounds. It will stay on the Tucker end of the floor.
Tucker's going to have to find somebody else to get some points, hopefully. Maybe loosen things up a little bit for Manny Atkins, because right now Joe Caldwell is all over him.
Inside pass. Down low to Dawson, but good defensive work. Foul committed on the play.
A little bit of a late whistle. I believe they got Stephen Hill over the back. Looked like he got a lot of ball, but usually they're going to call that one over the back.
So Dawson back to the free throw line.
I venture to say this is Tucker's lowest output in the first quarter this year, Charles. I don't know if it's the jitters or it's Miller Grove's defense, probably a little bit of both.
Manny Atkins taking a seat for the Tigers. Stacey Stone, normally a starter for the Tigers, did not start in the semifinal ball game. And Latoyer got to start tonight. Stone, the senior. Very calming presence for the Tigers. We'll see how that plays out. 4-2, Wolverines lead, and they have the basketball. Udofia behind the arc. Under 4 minutes remaining first quarter. Down low, at the block. Got it inside to Williams, but Williams couldn't convert. Now on the putback. Nicely done by Stephen Hill.
That's the third or fourth offensive board for Miller Grove, and they score again on offensive rebound.
Tie up at the sideline. Lual at the block, in traffic. Got it over to Dawson. Whistle on the play. They'll get him for the travel.
Yeah, needed to put that one on the floor. A couple of nifty interior passes there by Tucker, but needed a dribble to get that one to the hoop, and they didn't take it.
Darius Fulton onto the floor now for the Wolverines. Turnovers thus far. Tucker leading that category. 3. Miller Grove with just 1, with 3:21 remaining first quarter. Udofia right side to the glass, tapped around. Williams on the putback, and the whistle inside.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a better job blocking off the boards, Charles. They're giving Miller Grove too many second attempts. Here you see the nice drive by Udofia putting it up there. Williams going back for it. Gets 2 offensive rebounds. You got to tap and then control the second one. Tucker needs to do a better job blocking out. And anytime you look up and you got more turnovers than points, Charles, you're not playing well. And that's where Tucker is right now.
Williams at 5.5 points per ball game. Course of the season, converts and gets his first point here in this championship contest. Miller Grove leading it by 5.
Called a lot of Bulldog games this year, and we were in the same situation. More turnovers than points too often, and that'll kill you, especially the unforced turnovers.
Got to look at Coach Hartree for the Tigers at the sideline. I'm sure he's thinking the same thing, Herb.
It's gotten a little grayer since that championship in 2007. Coaching will do that to you.
Tigers trailing it. They have the basketball. Still in the front court. Darius Fulton coming away with it. Now Udofia leading the break. On the give and go inside the paint, the runner from 3 feet away. It's good.
Give the assist to Udofia.
Timeout taken on the floor by the Tigers of Tucker. 2 minutes, 38 seconds left in the first quarter. The rhythm just not there for the Tigers as of yet.
Say hello to all the folks at Matthews Cafeteria from Tucker looking in, a place my wife and I go quite often for some of that good home cooking.
For the latest information on GHSA basketball championships, including live Score ATL blogs, go to gpb.org/basketball. Also check out scoreatl.com for updated scores.
Yeah, Tucker picked up another turnover a moment ago, Charles, on the steal, and now they have 4 turnovers and 2 points. So not a good combination right now for the Tucker Tigers. And you know, Miller Grove not exactly burning it up offensively with just 10 points, but they're getting the job done on the offensive boards, and that's where they're hurting Tucker right now.
You mentioned the fact that Tucker had that little spurt during the season where he lost 5 ball games in a row, 2 of those games in overtime. But they really did get things righted and surprisingly got it to the championships. A lot of folks did not anticipate Tucker being able to contend this year. But Coach Hartree could credit him in his 9th season with Tucker, really turned things around, and he's very proud of this group for the way they responded.
Well, he's got Manny Atkins back in the game. He took him aside, trying to calm him down a little bit. Sometimes your star's feeling too much pressure, trying to calm him down, get him in this ball game, see if they can't get him off.
Lowell handles inside the paint. Henry Brooks with the rejection by the Wolverines. Udofia behind the arc, fires a 3, drains it. Wolverines. An 11-point lead for Miller Grove.
Well, we got a referee got the foul call on the out-of-bounds play as well, so Tucker will just take the ball out of bounds.
Kingsbury set to do that. Matoye back out on the floor for the Tigers, and so is Brandon Dawson.
This is a long Miller Grove team, Charles. They got long arms, long, lean players, and they've blocked 2 or 3 shots by Tucker so far.
Matoye out front as we approach 2 minutes remaining first quarter. Good defensive work by Fulton. In the corner, Dawson with the jumper. He left it short. Rebound cleared by the rangy Dante Williams. Now, nice give and go. Henry Brooks with the lay-in for the Wolverines.
Excellent ball movement by Miller Grove.
Matoye tied up momentarily, fires a 3-pointer. Backside rebound, comes clear to Udofia. Up the floor, right corner for 3, Fulton. Can't get it to fall. So the basketball back over to the Tigers. The momentum with the Wolverines.
Now, Tucker may have to try to get the ball inside some. We know that Miller Grove has blocked some shots, but you only got 2 points and the quarter's almost over, Charles. You got to get aggressive offensively and take it to the hoop. If you don't make some baskets, get some free throws at least.
Left side. Trevor Berkeley handles the basketball. He just checked in. Kingsbury in the paint with the jumper. Fall away. Can't get it to fall. It will stay on the Tucker end of the floor as Malcolm Frank comes back out onto the floor for Coach Eddie Johnson and the Wolverines. Matoye out front. Tucker really having some difficulty from the floor. Herb has yet to hit a field goal.
We got a holding foul on Miller Grove, but that's only their 5th. Tucker already with 7 fouls in the quarter, Charles, so that's going to hurt before this half's over.
3rd meeting of these teams this year. Anticipation steal. Stephen Hill almost cleared the steal for the Wolverines. Left corner, Kingsbury for 3. Can't get it to fall. Still no field goals for the Tigers. Fulton, top of the key. He'll fire three. Count it. Wolverines by 16. Latoye to Atkins. Hard in the paint, the runner to the glass. He misses. Basketball chased down by Berkeley. Over to Batoye for three. Off the mark.
Tucker will inbound. They need to get a bucket here, Charles. I'd hold it for one. Make sure Miller Grove doesn't get a rebound, go down and score.
Trying to get it in. They finally do to Matoye. They will play for the one, Herb. Atkins. Right side on the move, in traffic. Lost it momentarily. Can't get it up. Did not beat the buzzer. At the end of one from the arena, it has been all the Wolverines of Miller Grove. They lead it 18.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Back live at the arena at Gwinnett Center as we get set to start the second quarter. It's the Wolverines leading the Tigers of Tucker 18-2. Glad you could join us on GPB for the 4A championship. First quarter for the Tigers of Tucker. Not to their liking at all, Herb.
0 for 15, Charles, and even with my limited math skills, I can figure that out. That's a 0 percentage from the floor, so they got to turn it up defensively and get some better shots. And again, Miller Grove doing a great job on Manny Atkins. Tucker scoring. There's a shot in the paint.
Xavier McGahee with that basket. By contrast, Miller Grove in that first quarter, 6 of 10 from the floor. Matoye, left side with the pass to Berkeley. You just sense the intensity of that Miller Grove defense. They're really stepping it up. Dawson, right corner. Now Stone on the move. At the block, Dawson. In traffic, double team, but got it airborne, left it short. Rebound to McGahee. At the block, Parker now dishes back out front to McGahee, and the whistle.
A 3-second call. I think Parker was in there too long, the big freshman.
Tigers to inbound the basketball. They will find full court pressure by the Wolverines awaiting. Matoye working it up the floor. Atkins, right side. Back to Dawson. Squares for three. Back of the cylinder again. But he draws the foul from Adelphia by the Wolverines. Adelphia bailing him out on that one. As Coach Eddie Johnson looks on.
Tucker's going to have to hit some outside shots. Manny Atkins is drawing a crowd every time he puts the ball and tries to take it to the paint. Man, there is a lid on it for the Tucker Tigers, Charles. But they're going to get some good looks from around the perimeter if Atkins takes it to the hoop because he's drawing so many people with him. But they can't make anything right now.
Dawson, 3 of 6 now from the free throw line in tonight's contest.
Way early, Charles. We've seen a lot of ball games get a lot tighter.
Indeed, you're right. Do not turn the channel. Wolverines, 16-point lead on the basketball.
Tucker extends their defense some now, Charles. They're coming out. Put some pressure on.
Adelphia, bounce pass in the corner, threw it away. Stone clears for the Tigers. Up the floor, Atkins. Atkins squares for 3. Shots off the mark. Basketball fought for. Cleared by McGahee. Adelphia runs the floor. Pass right side. Caldwell to the glass. He's fouled.
Yeah, Udophia's got great vision when he takes that dribble on the offensive penetration, Charles. He finds somebody on almost every drive.
Tommy found Joe Caldwell, the senior. 10 points in the last meeting against Tucker. That one back on February 13th.
And again, give Joe Caldwell credit so far for a very good defensive job on Manny Atkins.
They're really working hard on the defensive end. They have shut Atkins down. Short on the second. Atkins clears for Tucker. Stone. Left corner Dawson. Now to Atkins. On the move. Got free and he got the lay-in. First field goal of the game for the Tigers.
Well, that's what they've got to do, Charles. That's the only aggressive move they've had to the paint pretty much in the last few minutes. And now they draw the offensive charge. So Tucker's extending their defense. They got a turnover a moment ago. Now they get another turnover.
Malcolm Frank picks up the foul for Miller Grove. 5:38 remains first half. 4A state championship. Stone takes a look. Now up top to Atkins. Toye at the block. Atkins. Short shot for Atkins and his second field goal.
And another basket in the paint. That's what we said they had to do. Take it inside, either get the basket in the paint or draw the foul. And a little run now for Tucker.
Half court pressure by the Tigers. In the corner now, Udofia. Parker works to the right side to Frank. On the weave, it's Udofia. In traffic, got it airborne, left it short, but Parker there for the putback for the Wolverines.
Good defense by Tucker all the way until the rebound, Charles. Then they let the big kids slip in and get it, and that's a killer.
Slid right in and got it. Her good call on that. Atelier back out front to Brown. Brown in traffic, lost the basketball, but he drew a foul on the inside. Break for the Tigers.
Well, when you take it to the hoop aggressive, good things happen quite often. Now they're going to be shooting a 1-and-1. And Tucker, again, a good free throw shooting team on the year, so that's where they want to be, is on that line.
Quentin Brown, the junior. 78% free throw shooter.
I don't know how many threes Atkins has taken this year, Charles, but in their scorebook, they've got him down at 62% from three-point distance. So he may hit 6 or 7 in a row because he's 0 for about 3 so far.
Well, I can tell you that he did hit 5 3-pointers in the second round ball game in the championship against the Hawks of Hillgrove. Up the floor now. Udofia lost his balance right in front of the Tiger bench.
And the Tigers' struggles continue offensively, missing free throws now. And again, a very good shooting free throw team.
Kingsbury back out on the floor for the Tigers. Atkins takes another seat. 4:39 left first half. Udofia at the line for the Wolverines. Udofia, the last time they played the Tigers, had 18 points and 6 assists. Heard Eric Hunter allude to that early on, but he's averaging 26 per ball game here in the playoffs.
And Tucker had this thing down to 13 points, but they allowed an offensive rebound they shouldn't have allowed, and then a silly foul actually over there on the sidelines, way away from the basket.
Timeout taken on the floor. 4:39 left first half. It's the Wolverines. 4 minutes, 39 seconds left in the first half. Let's go courtside to Eric Hunter, who's standing by with Principal James Jackson. Eric.
I am here with James Jackson, principal from Tucker High School. Now, this basketball team has had to overcome a different sort of challenge this year.
Yes, sir. We're under construction. We're getting a brand new building. And so the first part of the construction process, we lost our gym. So we didn't have a gym. We couldn't play home games. They didn't have a place to practice, so we had to practice at 2 or 3 different locations. All our games were on the road. We played at Tucker Middle School for our home games. I'd like to thank Dr. Kathy Cunningham and Mr. Gerald Hogan, the 2 principals that allowed us to come in and play our home games. Also, Dr. Gloria Dotson, the principal of Stone Mountain Middle, she allowed us to practice over there. So it's been a tough year, but, you know, we're here and we're playing against a great team in Miller Grove. We're going to play as hard as we can and do the best we can.
An interesting season. Let's see if Tucker can bounce back, Charles.
Thank you, Eric. And how about the truck? Researching, you got the photos of the progress of Tucker High School.
Been around a long time. I don't go all that way back, Charles. Now, I know you wanted to say something cruel. 1892. Quite a history and quite a tradition for Tucker.
Indeed, you're right. Back to live action. Full court pressure by the Wolverines. Kingsbury with the pass down low to Dawson. Shot rejected though. The long arms of Dante Williams swats it away. Dawson regains though, working inside with the left hand. Didn't get the basket, but he drew the foul. Tucker field goals first quarter, didn't have any. Second quarter, 2 of 5. So things starting to pick up a bit, but there's a lot of distance that they've got to cover.
Brandon Dawson getting on the backboards at 6'5". You're right, Dante Williams, he's 6'9", so he's the tallest man on the floor, and he's got some arms that look like you make him about a 7-footer, Charles.
Dawson converts on the play. Brandon Dawson, the junior, only at 6'5", but plays so strong on the inside. But having to contend with those arms of Williams and the rest, making it tough. Dawson converts both from the line. Hill in the corner. Philadelphia. Now they go up top, Frank. "15-point Miller Grove lead.
Now they got Stacey Stone. He's really all over the Philadelphia, but the problem is you get the foul now, and they're shooting the 1-and-1, and I imagine that Udofia, he's about a 72-73% field. Now is that their 10th foul? Can't see.
Yes, it is. Bonus.
Well, you got to credit a guy for playing good defense, but you just can't give up a foul at this point in the game, Charles. You're way down. You got to make those guys earn their baskets for Miller Grove. That's freebies right there. Oop, got a break.
Philadelphia going 1 of 2 from the line. Tigers quickly back to the other end of the floor. Kingsbury. In the corner, Quentin Brown. Shot rejected. Dante Williams with another block for the Wolverines. Basketball's clear to Kingsbury, though. They get it down low to Brown. Brown a bit rattled after the rejection. Lost it out of bounds.
Well, he'd have had to get that up about another 5 feet in the air to get over the outstretched arms of Williams on that one. Let's see it. This is, that's when you remember to your old age right there.
That's all ball. Matoye out front. 3:30 remaining. Now Brown to the rack. Missed on the spinner. Fights back for the rebound and lost it inside. It comes clear to Dawson in the Tigers, though. Dawson hard to the glass. His shot's off. And look at the bodies piled up inside the paint. You think these kids don't want it?
Well, credit both of those missed shots to the big guy, because they both threw that ball up a little early. They saw that block a moment ago, and you could see they shot it before they got to the height of their jump. They shot it quickly, and that's because of the big guy's intimidation inside.
3 minutes, 14 seconds left first half.
Talking about Dante Williams, the junior.
Right corner. Fulton. Alley-oop. Stephen Hill airborne here in the arena.
He'll score some touchdowns with that, Charles. My goodness, he was 2 elbows over the rack there.
Throw it to the corner of the end zone. Matoye has it tapped by Udofia. Basketball to Fulton. Working it right side. Shots off the mark by Caldwell, but a whistle inside the paint.
Let's watch this one, Charles. Whoa.
Wow.
He was looking down in the basket. Great athletic ability there and a nice look. Of course, it doesn't have to be a pinpoint pass there. Just throw it anywhere within 2 feet of the basket and it's going down.
Fulton with the assist. Stephen Hill with the flush. Atkins from the line. Shooting woes continuing for the Tigers. He misses on the first. Coach Hartree at the sideline getting grayer by the moment.
And that's an 88% free throw shooter right there.
Quickly back up the floor. Udofia in the corner draws a double team. Fulton behind the arc for three. Rimmers in and out, but there is the putback for Joe Caldwell.
Well, the same thing's killed him all this first half, Charles, is buckets around the inside and a lot of them on offensive rebounds. And boy, when you're down, you absolutely got to make sure you just give up one shot.
Dawson thinking three. Now to the rack, lost the basketball. Comes clear to Stephen Hill. Now Fulton chasing it down. Saved it, got it to Hill. There for the layup. Miller Grove is expanding their lead now, 32-11. Tucker, no doubt one of their worst first half performances of the year. Atkins had it rejected in the paint, but a blocking foul called inside.
He got bailed out. Would have been another block shot. Manny Atkins, very, very frustrated basketball player, as are the rest of the Tucker Tigers here right now. And there you'll see the replay. Again, got bailed out on the foul call because Dante Williams had another one blocked.
Atkins 5 points, 6 rebounds thus far. Now picks up a 6th point. Quentin Brown back out on the floor for the Tigers. And Henry Brooks back out for action for Coach Eddie Johnson and the Wolverines.
And Manny Atkins with that hand tape. I don't believe he had tape on his hand when he came into the ball game, Charles. He may have hurt that hand somewhere along the way, unless I didn't notice it early on.
Converts on the second. Indeed, you're right. And actually in the semifinal did the same thing. Got his hand taped during the course of the game.
Well, that's got to affect your shooting when he's got a lot of tape on there.
Basketball to the Tigers. We're under 2 minutes remaining first half.
As a matter of fact, the point guard now has tape on his hand. It's spreading.
Stacey Stone handles. Hill went for the pickoff of the ball, did not get it. We'll stay with the Tigers, and we've got a whistle on the floor. They call the foul on Hill. Stephen Hill picking up his 3rd foul for the Wolverines. Stephen Hill, we just highlighted that monstrous dunk he had a moment ago, had 15 in the semifinals, Herb. 14 of those points coming on slam dunks.
Well, we can see why, because he can really elevate.
Xavier McGahee back out on the floor for the Wolverines as Atkins sets for the second. Got that one to fall. Udofia left corner with the 3, shot it hard. Atkins clears for Tucker. They want to run. Matoye dishes in the corner to Dawson. Dawson on the move, lost a handle on the basketball, but it will stay with the Tigers. One of the Wolverines tapped it from behind.
Well, Tucker needs to score a couple times and try to get a couple of stops, get this thing back down under 15 or so if they can. Be a psychological boost for him.
Matoye with the left hand can't get it to fall though. Udofia quickly up the floor. Fulton tried to dump it inside to Williams, batted away. Here comes Atkins and the Tigers. Fake left-handed shot by Atkins, can't convert. Fulton had it tapped from behind by Matoye. Jump ball called. And the possession arrow will give it to the Tigers of Tucker.
Well, again, you saw Atkins take the ball to the hoop, but he had to change it up and shoot the left-hander instead of going strong because that man, Dante Williams, was there under the basket.
This is not getting the block, but intimidating the player, forcing him to do just that little extra thing to throw the shot off. 42 seconds remains first half. We hope you're enjoying our live broadcast of the best in Georgia high school basketball and ask you to stay tuned at halftime for your opportunity to become a member of the Georgia Public Broadcasting family. It's viewers like you that help make great local programs like this possible. And thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting. Coach James Hartley. And you hear him exhorting them on there, Herb, saying we're still in this ball game.
Well, there's no doubt they're still in the ball game, Charles. 17 points is a manageable deficit, and if they could score and get it down a little, like I said, 15 or so, definitely in the ball game. But they've got to cut down on the offensive rebounding by Miller Grove. That has really hurt them.
Latoye will handle. See if they'll try to hold it down and just get one shot off before the intermission.
I think it's a good play by Coach Hartree here. You go in no more down than 17 and maybe 15 or 14 if you hit the three.
Kingsbury off front, he handles.
A little surprised they have Atkins out of the ball game, don't they?
They do.
Best three-point shooter. A little surprised at that.
Kingsbury, number 11, had a clutch three-point shot in the third quarter to break a 49-49 tie in the semifinal game. So they may be looking for him to get that last shot off. Latoye works it left side instead, though. They've got to hurry. Under a second. Did not get a shot off. Well, you don't get the basket, but you don't lose anymore in terms of the deficit.
Yeah, probably could have got something better than your 5'8" man shooting over Dante Williams, but it is what it is.
At the intermission, it is the Wolverines of Miller Grove leading at 32-15 over the Tigers of Tucker. Eric Hunter standing by with the coach. Eric.
Coach Johnson, a good first half. You got to be pleased, especially defensively.
Oh, yes, definitely. Our defense is stepping up the first half. If we continue to play that way and shut down our men, our side of the boys is taking care of their assignments. Great. Turning everybody to that weak hand, rebounding strong. It's like we're taking care of everything we need to do first half. Hopefully, we come back out with that same defense for the second half. We'll be okay.
And it's not over yet. What do you tell them during half here to keep that focus?
Coming back out here to score 0-0. We don't see this lead at all. The game just started 0-0. We're playing the same intensity, rebounding the same way, diving on the ball, floor for the loose balls, and keep that same defensive intensity. We're not letting up at all.
Good luck the rest of the way, Coach. Thanks. Charles?
Thank you, Eric. Wolverines leading at 32-15 over the Tigers of Tucker. Quick timeout.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Back live at the Arena Gwinnett Center just before we start the third quarter. Eric Hunter standing by with Coach James Hartree.
Surmountable deficit. What did you guys talk about to try to cut into that deficit?
We talked about getting back on defense. Getting back on defense and blocking out. Second shots is killing us. But anytime you score 2 field goals in the first half, this is what the score going to be, especially when you're playing a good team like this. Miller Grove very good, and you have to stop them on the boards.
All right, guys, 17's not insurmountable. Back to you.
Thank you, Eric. Big challenge ahead for the Tigers as we take a look at some of the highlights from that first half.
There you see Fonda Dofia taking the hoop and also doing it all as he throws a nice assist.
Henry Brooks coming off the bench got 2 good field goals for the Wolverines. And defensively, Wolverines rejecting shots. And there, airborne was Stephen Hill on the slam dunk that got the crowd into it here at the arena. And then the 2 field goals that Coach Hartley referred to. There you see Manny Atkins in the paint converting the 2 for the Tigers of Tucker. First half highlights obviously favoring the Wolverines. Take a look at the stats, and they do as well.
Yeah, we talked about the dismal shooting. There it is. Looks like 2 for 29. It comes out to about 7% for the Tucker Tigers. Free throws kept them in the ball game, 11 for 15. And good shooting by the Miller Grove Wolverines, 11 for 19. Rebounds, actually, Tucker stayed on the boards with rebounds, but they gave up 5 or 6 offensive rebounds. And as Coach Hartree and I both said, that is going to get you beat when you're not shooting the ball well, especially. So Tucker's got to stay aggressive offensively, Charles. When you're not shooting the ball well, you really got to do the fundamentals, and that's block out, play good defense, and get good shots. And this ball game is not over, but Tucker needs to get off to a good start here.
And we'll see how they fare this first defensive trip for them as they defend with the Wolverines handling the basketball.
Tucker's gone 1-2-2 zone.
Third meeting of these teams in the 08-09 season. This one for the 4A championship. Udofio behind the arc for 3, left it short. Atkins blocking out, basketball over to the Tigers. That's a good stop.
Well, the 1-2-2 leaves the post position open, but I guess Tucker doesn't feel like they're very, very strong in the post scoring-wise, Miller Grove. And you really got to concentrate on your rebounding out of that zone as well.
Miller Grove going full court pressure. Kingsbury handles left side in traffic, bounced it back out to Matoye. Now Atkins to the left block, whistles on the play.
Now there you see it, Tucker aggressively taking it to the basket, and nice ball movement there. Made the extra pass. Here you see it. Had the three-pointer, didn't take it, gave it to Atkins. He took it to the basket.
Atkins to the line. Misses on the first.
He's pressing. Didn't have any arc on that ball.
Committed to Virginia Tech. 28 points in the semifinal ball game. Converts on the second free throw. Wolverines there into the floor now. Inside the paint, it's Caldwell. Lost it briefly. Matoye lunges for it, but it comes clear to the Wolverines. Udofia out front. Frank backpedals and resets. Wolverines spreading the floor now. Obviously want to run as much time off the clock as they can offensively.
And Miller Grove's going to say, come out and get us, because we don't have to take it to the basket.
Philadelphia gets a screen. Works it down low to Parker. Whistles down low. Parker pushing off with the off arm.
Good call, Charles. Parker big enough, he doesn't have to do that. He's 6'9", 6'8", 6'9", probably weighs about 250. His body's big enough to move a guy out without throwing the forearm.
They didn't agree with the call.
Oh my goodness, there's one you don't want to do. There's a wasted foul there on Tucker. We got it. Third foul on, let's see this one.
Quentin Brown in the back court.
He could have avoided that, Charles. Quentin Brown with not a smart play. That's going to be his third foul and a turnover, unnecessary.
6:29 remaining third quarter. Miller Grove leading at 32-16.
You get frustrated when you get down this many points, but you got to keep your head, keep your cool. When we talk about the fundamentals, that is against the fundamentals of basketball. They're committing a totally unnecessary foul in the backcourt.
Other action from the arena Aquanet Center. 4A Girls Championship ball game was decided. It was the Lady Panthers of Southwest DeKalb winning back-to-back titles. They defeated the Lady Tigers of Fayette County 59-46 for the 4A championship with girls. Congratulations to Coach Kathy Walton and the Lady Panthers, back-to-back champs. Wolverines out front looking for their first state title. Reached the semifinals last year. As the errant shot comes clear to the Tigers of Tucker. Kingsbury raises, can't hit the jumper. Atkins tapped it backside, it comes clear to Dawson. Dawson at the block with the left hand, can't convert. Atkins had it taken away from him by Tony Parker. Parker flailing the arms.
That's a tough call on the big guy. He had three people grabbing his arms, Terrence. I didn't see him throw the elbow. He's just trying to yank that rebound away, and he's a big guy. But he sent Tucker player to the floor, maybe.
So the Tigers will have it right of the cylinder.
And a good job offensive board work there by the Tigers. Got to get one to go down here.
And credit the officiating crew there. They got the sense that the players were getting a little bit antsy in there. They stepped in and settled things down very nicely. Kingsbury out top. Now Atkins right side. On the turn as Kingsbury got bumped, got the shot airborne. It fell short. He'll go to the line.
Tucker's had 4 good looks on this trip down the floor. Now they're going to get a couple of free throws. Don't want to come away with no points here after you've had some good shots. Are they only going to get the ball out of bounds? They're not going to call in the act of shooting there.
So the Tigers inbounding it. Matoye handles. At the block, Atkins lost a handle on it. A rebound comes away to Dante Williams. They come away with no basket there, Herb.
Atkins, again, he's pressing a little bit, Charles. You can see it on his free throws, and right there, a little over anxious.
Udofia, right corner, Frank. Now back to Hill. At the block, Williams over Atkins, and he got the lay-in. Quick step by Williams, the junior.
Certainly was. He puts on a little weight to go on that frame. He's going to be a handful, Charles.
Dawson, right corner for the Tigers. Now hard inside the paint. Dawson softly, but he left it short. A rebound. And here comes Frank, 2-on-1. Nice fake and easy lay-in by Malcolm Frank. Good ball fake by Malcolm Frank to get the basket. Wolverines leading at 36-16. Atkins, short jumper, and he was fouled. Almost everything the Tigers try to do has been contested by that Wolverine defense.
Well, they're getting good looks at the basket. The first shot was a really nice one, just bounced long, and you're right, that was a nice 2-on-1 a moment ago. Did the exact right thing. He looked the man off, took it to the hoop strong, and you got to make the free throws now.
Atkins converts on the first. Henry Brooks back out onto the floor for the Wolverines. Brooks will replace. Got Dante Williams off the floor.
Stacey Stone checks in for Tucker. Kingsbury takes a seat.
So Atkins good on 2 from the line. Pressure by the Tigers. Approaching the 4:30 mark remaining third quarter. Brooks, top of the key. Udofia out front.
Tucker back man to man. They've come out of that 1-2-2 now.
Right corner, Udofia in traffic, and he travels with the basketball. So turnover gives the basketball to the Tigers of Tucker. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left in the third. Timeout here. Wolverines leading at 36-18. We'll be back after the break.
He's been shooting threes. He'll take another one up and no good, and the tip no good. And the final score in a terrific Quad A championship game, Columbia over Fayette County, 69-63.
And it's tough to get to the championship game once or twice, but Columbia's been there 3.
4 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Wolverines 36, Tigers of Tucker 18. 4A championship on the line. Tigers looking for their third state title. Winners in 2007 under Coach James Archery. They won the 3A championship in 1996 under then head coach David Boyd, who we'll see later tonight in the 5A matchup.
Yeah, David Boyd going for his 5th championship, Charles, at 4 different schools. And of course, Doug Lipscomb and Wheeler going for his 5th championship at the same school.
Tigers. Stone behind the arc, double teamed by the Wolverines. Now Dawson in the corner, he gets the same treatment, tries to step through it and stepped on the inbound line.
Miller Grove coming out with a really aggressive trapping there. First time they've done that this evening. Smart play.
A lot of different looks from Coach Eddie Johnson, keeping his team on their P's and Q's and mixing up the Tigers as a result.
Always like a coach that changes up his defenses, Charles. Keeps the offensive team from getting in a rhythm.
And he talked about it with Eric Hunter at the halftime, that they could not be complacent with that lead. They had to continue to play as if it were a 0-0 score starting second half. Basket that trip down the floor for the Wolverines extends their lead 38-18. Udofia saved it out of bounds off the hands of Latoya. And the basketball over to Miller Grove.
And that came off Montoya's sore left hand, and he's really in some pain over there.
Udofia handles out front. Now gives it at the post to Williams. Foul was called on Stacey Stone away from the basketball. Darius Fulton set to come back onto the floor for Miller Grove. Quentin Brown takes a seat for Tucker. Fulton, left corner, give and go to Adofia. Now with the pass over to Brooks and the easy lay-in. Good crisp passes by the Wolverines results in the basket.
Yeah, those big guys from Miller Grove are always looking for the ball when he takes it to the hoop because they know he can deliver.
Brown out front, now Matoye. They go to the block to Atkins. Brooks, partial rejection, jump ball call.
Tucker will keep possession, but a nice block there.
Henry Brooks.
Oh, Henry Brooks, excuse me, you're right.
Brooks at 6'7". Luol to the glass, missed on the shot. Rebound to Stephen Hill. Fulton bumped in the backcourt by Stacey Stone. Miller Grove really hasn't shown a lot of weaknesses in this ball game.
Xavier McGahee checks in for Miller Grove.
Eddie Johnson inheriting that program at the start of this year. Team had the goal at the start of the year of 3 and 13. Let's take a look at field goals from that third quarter of action. Tucker 1 of 4, and Miller Grove again 4 of 7. Very hot. That's consistent shooting by the Wolverines all game long. Turnover by the Tigers with the travel. Just to finish that thought about the 3 and 13, Herb, that was their goal coming into that year. And 3 and 13 is today's date. They wanted to be here for the championship ball game, and indeed they are.
Well, it looks like the planets have lined up pretty well so far, Charles.
Utopia to the line. Numerologist Herb Wright. .206 remains, third quarter. Utopia is good on both. Basketball to the Wolverines. Adofia in traffic, tried to dump it down low, taken away by the Tigers. Atkins handles in the backcourt. Now works it right side. Fulton went for the steal and he drew the foul, or commits the foul on Manny Atkins.
Atkins trying to take on the whole Miller Grove team there, Charles. Should have given that one up and gotten it back. And they got bailed out with the foul. Let's see if they can get a bucket up on the scoreboard here. Zoned by Miller Grove. They're gone 1-2-2, or looks like the big guy on the point out front.
Atkins for 3, Remmers off the mark. Dante Williams, very impressive basketball game for Williams tonight, comes away with a rebound. Adofia out top. Works it off the screen, all the way left side, dumps it down low. Williams went for the slam. Basketball was knocked away, but he will go to the line. The junior set to shoot 2. 1:22 remaining, third quarter.
Well, a nice job by Coach Johnson with that 1-2-2. He's got Brooks out there on the point on that 1-2-2 at about 6'5" with the long arms. Makes it extremely tough for Atkins to get his three-point shot off out there.
Brandon Dawson back out onto the floor for the Tigers. Quentin Brown coming back as well. Berkeley and Luol take seats. Williams misses both from the line. Tucker with the basketball. Eddie Johnson, his first season as head coach. You talked about it a few moments ago, Herb. Former head coach of the JV program at Miller Grove. And the team really is responsible for him getting that head coaching job. School was considering trying to find someone else to take over as head coach. The team really rallied around him and wanted him to be the head coach, and they got their way.
Well, I imagine he's cemented himself at least another year. What do you think, Charles?
Yeah, he's earning this one, no question.
And Montoya was out there. Brooks just simply reached over him and took that ball away at 6'5". Montoya 5'8", so a mismatch out there on the point.
Frank working right side. Frank with the left hand, nicely done, but they get him with a push off with the opposite hand. Offensive foul.
That's all right, nice aggressive move, and it's 24 points, and we got 9 minutes to play. Let's take a look at that drive to the basket. And Tucker can't afford to trade baskets now, Charles. They've got to outscore them 2 or 3 to 1, so they need to get good looks and get on the defensive board.
Atkins took the charge for the Tigers. That trip down the floor, he handles up top. Now Montoya. Pass at the sideline, knocked out of bounds by Malcolm Frank. Kingsbury up top. Under a minute remaining now in this third quarter. Brown up top to Atkins. He'll fire the three-pointer from outside. Off the mark, but Atkins there for the putback. He missed on the lay-in opportunity.
He drew the foul, though, Charles. He's going to shoot a pair. And nice elevation there by Atkins on the follow-up. Couldn't get it to go down.
So the senior, Atkins, to the free throw line. It's the first.
Tucker's free throws keeping him in this ball game, Charles. If you can call 42-19 in the ball game.
Atkins with 13 points thus far, 8 rebounds. Give him 14 points now. Shaquille Riley checking into the lineup for the Wolverines. Right side, Atkins trying for the steal. Got it, but tapped it out of bounds. Knocking it just behind us.
There was a time I might have had that one, Charles.
Just missed it. Riley will inbound the basketball. Just in front of us at the table. Udofia handles in the backcourt. Udofia committed to Georgia Tech. So as Stephen Hill, but Hill going on a football scholarship. Atkins quickly back the other way for Tucker. Down in the corner, Montoya. Montoya with the three-pointer at the buzzer. Rimmer, and it's off the mark. Par for the course for the Tigers at this point. At the end of 3, it's the Wolverines 42 and the Tigers of Tucker 20. Quick timeout. We'll be back to start the fourth and final quarter of the Class 4A championship.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
Back live as you take a look at the 4A boys champions in the state of Georgia over this past decade. One of these teams tonight trying to have their name etched onto that chart as well. Columbia winners of it last year, Tucker the year before that.
Charles, we had a lot of great memories looking up at that scoreboard. We've seen some great basketball over the years, some great players, and Tucker actually shot 8% in the third quarter and upped their percentage over what they'd been shooting for the game because they were 7% for the game. And hate to laugh, but it's just one of those nights when nothing will go in the hole for you. And against a good team, as Coach Hartree said, that's a recipe for disaster. But let's see if they can turn it on a little bit here in the fourth quarter of this ball game.
Quentin Brown gives it up top to Chris Kingsbury. Now Montoya works it left side. At the block is Dawson. Dawson to the rack and got it to fall. That's a good start for the Tigers in this fourth.
A smart move by Caldwell not to foul there. Give him the basket. You don't want to stop the clock when you got a lead this big in the fourth quarter.
Philadelphia out front, guarded by Kingsbury. Picks up a screen, now works it back to the inside. Nice cross dribble and he's free for the lay-in. Nicely done by Wafan Udofia on the penetration.
And as we mentioned, Charles, and not hard to realize, you can't trade baskets when you're down 20, and that's what we've done to start the fourth quarter.
Brown will pick up Udofia at the timeline and try to trap him at the side. Pass in the corner to Hill. Now Hill will handle up top. Left side, Udofia shot is off the mark. Back the other way, Tigers take the basketball.
Well, good patience being shown by Miller Grove. You don't want to completely shut down your offense, but run some time off that clock every time down the floor.
Dawson squares for three, count it. Dawson with 2 successive baskets for the Tigers. And back the other way, the shot was off the mark by Caldwell with a whistle down low.
Should have been basket interference there. Looked like he got that one on the rim, but they're going to call a foul. Cannot touch the ball when it's above or on the cylinder.
6:15 remains. 4A championship ball game from the arena, Gwinnett Center. Glad you could join us on Georgia Public Broadcasting. Charles Ward, Herb White, and Eric Hunter.
We had some nice athletic work by the Miller Grove cheerleading squad out here between the third and fourth quarter, showing some great athletic ability.
Spinner by Atkins is good.
Cheerleaders come a long way since the old 2 bits, 4 bits days.
Yeah. It's changed dramatically. Right side bounce pass and try to get it inside the heel. Shot rejected by the Tiger defense. It'll stay on the Wolverine end of the floor.
Tigers still staying after it. No quit in them. Let's see it again.
Quentin Brown got a hand on it to knock it away. Double team of Udofia. Now they get it backside. There's Dante Williams with the flush. So many weapons on that Wolverine team. Kingsbury for 3, back of the cylinder. Dante Williams corrals the rebound for Miller Grove.
Udofia smartly slows it down and walks it up.
Looking for the screen out front. Latoye guarding defensively. Now there's Udofia to the rack. Shot is off the mark. They'll get him for an offensive foul inside. Brandon Dawson able to square himself up and take the charge.
A hard fall there for Udofia. He's back up though, shaking it off.
Take a look at him going down court, Herb. He is ailing a bit on that one. Took a real hard shot.
Like he caught that knee on the hardwood.
Tigers across the timeline. Stacy Stone back out on the floor. Over to Atkins. Atkins had it tapped at the sideline, but it comes clear to Stone. Now Dawson in the right corner. Squares, fires another three-pointer. Hits the front of the cylinder. Basketball is loose. Darius Fulton covers it for the Wolverines.
Possession arrow go for Miller Grove.
Toye had him tied up, so the basketball over to the Wolverines on possession. Nice pass, left side, the lead entry pass, but they throw it away as Williams tries to run it down in the corner. Udofia with that nice crisp pass on the inside. Williams not able to handle it. Atkins fires from way downtown with the three-pointer. Shot is off the mark. It will stay, or it'll go to the Wolverines.
Well, they're doing about the only thing they can do now, Charles, and that's just throw up the threes and hope they can hit 4 or 5 in a row, but doesn't look like it's going to get it tonight.
Timeout on the floor, 4:34 remaining. Wolverines 46, Tigers of Tucker 27. Wolverines 26-3 coming into today's ball game. Herb, those 3 losses, only lost to one team in the state of Georgia. The other 2 coming from teams outside the state. So really a commanding performance by the Wolverines all year long. Retain that #1 ranking throughout.
Yeah, and even though they're losing a couple of good players, Charles, they're going to have some good players coming back next year, and so they'll be right back, I assume.
Coming up later tonight on GPB. After this contest, it'll be Redan and Marietta, the girls 5A championship. That one coming your way at 7 p.m. Should be a great ball game. Redan undefeated entering that contest. And after that, it's the boys 5A championship. We're back here at the table to bring you that one, where Milton, the Eagles, will meet the Wheeler Wildcats, both teams at 24-7. That will conclude our championship broadcast activity for today in that 5A boys championship. And then tomorrow, the group heads down to Macon, starting at 11 a.m., where it'll be Savannah Country Day and Wesleyan tying it up for the girls single A championship ball game.
There's some more great teams, Charles, and some more great individuals. So many great players going on to collegiate sports from Georgia. It's almost impossible to list them all.
AA girls tomorrow. It'll be Model versus Beaufort. Both teams at 31 wins. For the 2A girls, for the boys, it'll be Blessed Trinity. And for the AAA girls, Carrollton versus the winner of the Baldwin-Lakeview game that's taking place tonight. And then the boys AAA, Westover or either Gainesville will meet either South Atlanta or Columbia in tomorrow's 8:45 p.m. ball game.
Yeah, Charles, we've brought a lot of great basketball to the folks of Georgia over the last 12 years or so, with 11 games now each year, with the wheelchair game that we're doing now for the last 6 years, and the 5 boys and 5 girls championships. And it's just a wonderful thing being a basketball person, and to be able to be involved in this for so many years. It's just a treat for all of us to be involved with the Georgia High School Association of Georgia Public Broadcasting.
Could not have said it better myself, Herb. It really is just a phenomenal event. Great to be a part of it. Wolverines back to the rack, and there's the lay-in by Fulton.
A lot of college people think, or college scouts are saying, the high school class coming out of Georgia in 2 years, this year's sophomore class will be the best high school class to come out of any state ever, as far as the depth and the quality of players coming out. So more great basketball coming up on Georgia Public Broadcasting, because we just reached the agreement with the Georgia High School Association to continue our relationship for many years down the road, which is good news for all sports fans in Georgia, not just basketball fans. Of course, we do football, Prep Sports Plus, our great weekly half-hour show. We do cheerleading and hopefully some other sports in the coming years.
Talk about the young talent. We've seen a lot of it. Looking at one of them right there. Tony Parker, just a freshman, with the thunderous dunk for the Wolverines. Just to mention a few, Tony Parker and Dante Williams. Williams a junior, Parker just a freshman. Just the type talent that's available here in the state of Georgia in basketball.
Now they're going to have a good inside presence for a while, and they got one guy that's about 250, and the other guy's about 170 that can jump to the top of the square with 2 hands.
Latoya with the reverse lay-in for the Tigers of Tucker. Nicely done inside the paint. 3 minutes remaining in the ball game. And although things have not fallen well for Coach James Hartree and his Tigers of Tucker tonight in terms of play on the basketball floor, I have to credit this team for coming back and making it to the championship, but also have to give them a lot of credit for maintaining a 3.3 GPA as a team overall.
Well, you're right, Charles. And he was here 2 years ago, and it's so tough to get to a championship game, and to do that twice in that length of time. Coach Hartree, just a great coaching job. And of course, we don't play any favorites here at Georgia Public Broadcasting as broadcasters, but it's certainly always great to see a school win their first state championship. And Miller Grove hadn't been around that long, and to see them come in and now win a state championship is it's a wonderful thing for that community.
And Coach Hartree is holding a towel in his hand and literally thrown one in here too. Got some players, some substitute players coming out now just to give them an opportunity at championship play as he pulls his starters off. Certainly in tribute to the senior Manny Atkins, who carried that team throughout the year.
And he'll fit in nicely at Virginia Tech. They're a great perimeter shooting team up there. We played them, the Bulldogs played them this year, one of our best wins. And Virginia Tech is an excellent basketball school, and he'll enjoy his time there for sure.
Amir Collier handles for the Tigers. Down in the corner for three-pointers, DeJounte Harris. His shot is off the mark. Down the floor, Stephen Hill. Hill is fouled by Tamini Brewster, the senior who was catching up with the play.
And all the football coaches at Georgia Tech take a big sigh and a deep breath as Hill comes up limping. It looked like it was too bad. He just made a funny move down there. The defensive player stepped in front of him.
Stephen Hill with a great performance tonight for the Wolverines. Worked hard on both ends of the floor. Credit he and Joe Caldwell, with both of them really shutting down Manny Atkins and not letting him get things started for the Tigers.
Yeah, that was the key tonight, Charles. Tucker got off to such a cold start, and when you can shut down the leading scorer, keep him from scoring in the first half, basically, and you've just done a great job defensively. And credit Miller Grove's strategy coming out in this one, and it worked to perfection.
Joe Caldwell, the senior, takes a seat. Gets a chance to savor this 4A championship coming the way of the Wolverines with 2:18 left in the ballgame.
And some of the substitutes feeling they're going to get in the scorebook, even if it has to be on a personal foul. They're going to make their presence known. Could be a long 2:18.
Xavier McGahee at the line for the Wolverines. And he converts on the first.
Stephen Hill take a well-earned seat over there on the bench.
Onto the floor, Vincent McAllister. McGahee with the second, he converts. We hope you're enjoying our live broadcast of the best in Georgia high school basketball. We ask you to stay tuned after the game for your opportunity to become a member of the Georgia Public Broadcasting family. It's viewers like you that help make great local programs like this possible, and we surely thank you for supporting Georgia Public Broadcasting.
And Charles, thanks to our great crew again, engineering and camera crew. Is anybody that watches college professional basketball on television, when they watch these games, they can see our guys do as good a job as anybody when it comes to bringing you a basketball game.
Hear, hear. Under 2 minutes remaining. 4A state championship.
Now their heads may be too big to get out of the truck later, but a job well done. And long days for all our guys.
2 more contests are coming your way after this one, and then a full day tomorrow down from the Macon Coliseum. Thomas Marshall misses from the free throw line. Tigers run the basketball down. They go back the other way. Seven seniors on that Wolverine team. A fine way for them to come out of that program. School's only open since 2004. That senior class, be able to say that they were the first ones to bring a state championship to Miller Grove. Wolverines road to the championship, beat Sandy Creek in the first round, then the Bulldogs of Rockdale County in the second, and they got the Tigers of Fayette County in the quarterfinal round. They lost to Fayette County in the semifinals last year, able to avenge that loss, and then they defeated the Musketeers of Richmond Academy in the semifinals a couple of nights ago.
And a couple of great players. We're talking about individual players. Derek Favors, who is going to be the Naismith Award winner for the National Naismith Award, is going to be playing tomorrow night, of course, for the South Atlanta Hornets in that ball game, and look forward to that one. Well, we've had some guys coming out of Georgia. You think of Lewis Williams, won the same award a few years ago. Who was the other guy that won it, Charles?
Oh, you put me on the
Another
spot.
South Atlanta guy. Doing a pretty good job in the NBA now.
Oh, Dwight Howard.
Yeah. Kwame Brown, a #1 draft pick a couple of years before Dwight Howard. So again, the list of great basketball talent coming out of Georgia is just staggering.
The Wolverines keeping it there on the floor to run it out here. Shots off the mark.
Anna Marie Hardaway is the Gatorade Female High School Player of the Year from Wesleyan. We'll get a look at her tomorrow evening.
This goes to your point about the level of talent. Back the other way, Marshall with the easy lay-in for the Wolverines.
Probably the biggest margin of victory we've had in a championship game in quite a while, Charles. You've got to say Miller Grove is the #1 4A team in the state of Georgia.
Started out that way, and it'll end that way. Wolverines of Miller Grove. They did a jailbreak over to their fans here to our right in the arena. And celebrating with the student body. Wolverines win it 59-31 over the Tigers of Tucker. And they are your boys 4A state champs for the state of Georgia. Congratulations to Coach Eddie.
This is Georgia Public Broadcasting, your PBS station.
The celebration has begun here in the Arena Equinet Center. The Wolverines of Miller Grove win it 59-31 over the Tigers of Tucker. Eric Hunter standing by with Coach Eddie Johnson. Eric.
Coach, talk about the thrill of winning a first state title here at Miller Grove.
I have no idea. You have no clue. It seems so surreal. I'm still not caught on. I can't believe it myself. Like every second that passes by, my heart just keeps on beating. And the boys played their hearts off. Like you can't tell them anything right now. We're so proud of the boys, man. So proud of them. They did exactly what they were supposed to do and came through in the end.
Tell us what the seniors have meant to you and this team.
Their senior leadership, man. It's like having a set of 7 coaches on the squad. They knew exactly what they were supposed to do and did exactly that. And led the team to the state championship. Without them, man, that's the core of the team right there. And they did exactly what we expected them to do as their senior leadership.
And quickly, tell us about that hug you had with Coach Hartree.
Coach Hartree's been like, I played ball in DeKalb County. Coach Hartree was still coaching then, and I followed him ever since. He's one of the greatest coaches that I know outside of Coach Sharman. I want to say thank you to Coach Sharman White. He put me in this position, and he had faith that I'd be able to pull it out. Without him, that's my mentor coach. This has taught me everything I know. So I want to give all of my praise and honor to Coach Sherman White. That's the man right there.
Congratulations, Coach. Guys, we have a Quad A state champion.
And it is the Wolverines of Miller Grove with a very excited and jubilant head coach Eddie Johnson. Final once again from the arena at the Gwinnett Center. The 4A boys champions are the Wolverines of Miller Grove. They win it 59-31 over the Tigers of Tucker. Herb White and Eric Hunter, Charles Ward saying thanks so much for watching. Girls 5A coming your way next.
Funding for this program is provided in part by Georgia's Electric Membership Corporations, the Georgia Student Finance Commission, Regions Bank, the Georgia Lottery, by viewers like you, and the Georgia High School Association, who wish to thank the Georgia Dodge dealers, State Farm, and Naturally Fresh for their support of GHSA athletic activities.
At forward, a 6'3" junior.